What's up, teammates? Well, I hope you Minshew maniacs are happy because you got your Minshew. You had him for your first four games. Then once you got some Aiden and what looked like a little bit of steadiness in the game, you got your Minshew back. So why are people saying that it's the Raiders' fault? I don't understand why people keep saying the Raiders have to stop this and the Raiders have to stop doing that. None of this is going on. Is anybody's fault but Gardner Minshew. None of it. Now I'm not going to even try to hide it, disguise it, or act like I'm just overplaying it. Everything that's wrong with our offense, everything that's wrong with our defense, and everything that is stopping us from having a steady offense as far as going with drives, short drives, is all Minshew's fault. Okay? They talk about our main problem, turnovers. Okay? We have 14 turnovers as a team. Gardner Minshew has 10 of those 14 turnovers. So if we're a team who needs to stop turning the ball over, we need to get rid of our most prone turnover machine. And that's Gardner Minshew. Now, the next problem is our offensive line. Well, when Aiden's in there, he only got one sack the whole game against the Pittsburgh Steelers, who have the best, one of the best front four in the league. Against with our line, who's it has been a terrible line in everyone else's opinion up to this point. But Aiden only got sacked one time last week. Minshew again got sacked two times, and the third time was basically a rush for 2 yards, but that was just because he got tripped as he was going forward, and it almost looked like a rush instead of a sack. Anyway, he's not getting it done in that area either. What else is he doing? Oh yeah, we put him in for his mobility. He got 12 rushing attempts for 40 yards. And if you take away the two rushing attempts that he got in that one game, the two for 11 yards that he scored, two of those in one game for first downs. If you take those two away, he has 10 rush attempts for 18 yards. That was the mobility that you Minshew fans wanted. So now he's getting sacked all the damn time, so he's killing our drives. He's throwing picks and he's fumbling, so he's killing our turnover ratio, and his mobility is not working. He's averaging something like 1.8 yards per rush if you take away those two first downs that he got in one game, in one drive. So the defense not getting any rest is Minshew's fault. Everybody getting downtrodden because we're not getting anywhere, because we're getting so many turnovers, because when it looks good, things are going good, it goes bad because Minshew's turning the ball over and we can't overcome our turnovers. But you still hear a lot of people saying the Raiders are doing bad instead of saying Minshew is doing bad. There are too many people who want to diss Aiden so hard and push Minshew so much that now that he's a crying failure, nobody wants to stand up and say, yeah, get Minshew out of there and keep him out of there because it's the worst thing we could have possibly done from the beginning. A lot of people are coming around and they're coming to saying, this is the best thing for us to do for Aiden and for the team, and but no one's saying that. There's not a lot of people saying that. No, sit him down from now on because there's no chance we can win with Aiden. And once he got in, people were, I don't care who you were, people, you should have been happy. And if you weren't happy, you got your Minshew back, and look what he got you, another 4 turnover game. Minshew should have never been on the field. Everybody who backed Minshew should have known the whole damn time, just like I've been saying, that the guy is not a quarterback. He does not know how to play quarterback. Okay? And he showed it very much so. Our offensive line looked bad because Minshew gets sacked because he doesn't know what he's doing. Our defense is tired because Minshew's not leading the team on any type of sustained drives because he doesn't know what he's doing. We're not getting any production out of Gardner Minshew, and everybody's blaming the entire Raiders team. When you look at everything he's done and his body of work, Minshew is the main problem we have. The offense is extremely important, and Minshew is the most important part of our offense, and he stinks. And it's not his fault. Minshew's doing the best he can do. I'm not dogging the dude because of who he is or what he is. I'm dogging his ability and the fact that he's not a better quarterback than Aiden O'Connell, and he shouldn't have been starting for the Las Vegas Raiders. And that's not Minshew's fault. It's not Minshew's fault that he sucks and that he started. It's Getsky's fault. Everything is Getsky's fault. Everything I just said about Minshew, nix it. It doesn't matter. Everything Minshew did is Getsky's fault. Getsky's the one who said Minshew over Aiden in the beginning of the year. Him and Tom Telesco overruled. That's the word. Overruled AP and said we're going to go with Minshew. And we know that was an overrule because we know when AP had to or got to put Aiden O'Connell in to start, he said it was my decision and mine alone, which means the decision before wasn't his decision and his alone. But this time, when it was time to choose which quarterback is going in, he said this decision is mine and mine alone. And as it should have been in the beginning. But again, in the beginning, this is a triad. These guys don't know each other. They got they've got $1 billion corporation in their hands. The success relies heavily on those three. They have to work together, and no one could come in there right from the beginning and doing the power play. So the three of them had to work together. But as we get going in the season, Antonio Pierce understands more how, as the head coach, these decisions reflect more on him than anyone else. Although it does reflect on Luke Getsky, Antonio Pierce is the one to allow it to happen. So that's why he made sure when he put out Aiden, he said, this is what I need to do. I need to do what I want to do and not listen to the information I'm getting from the other two of the triad. So he has Getsky put in Minshew. Finally, AP fixes it, but it's too late. And whoever the Raiders pissed off that is in control of the fates, we all need to say sorry, okay? We all need to say sorry on behalf of the Raiders because the fates do not like the Raiders, and they proved it by breaking Aiden's thumb. Just when there was no hope, but to watch the hope that we had dwindle away, right? Because with Aiden, at least we will watch the hopes dwindle away. Week after week, we see him getting worse or not making it quite, just not rising to what he could be, or maybe even winning some games. But right now, all we see is fall off. Because we know if we got Gardner Minshew starting the rest of the season, there is absolutely no way we're going to have a 6-1 season. There's no way. So, that being said, it's not Gardner Minshew's fault. It's all Getsky's fault. The whole reason this team sucks is Getsky. And it's terrible. And now it's obvious to see how extremely important a good offensive coordinator is. Because Getsky ruined the squad. He chose Minshew over Aiden O'Connell. If he didn't, then O'Connell would have started because that's who Antonio Pierce wanted. But Getsky said he's got the skills. Telesco said he's got the tenure, being that he's a veteran. And they worked together and went that way. And Pierce retracted that and said, "Funk that. I'm the head coach. I'm going to make the decision, and I'm deciding to put Minshew down and bring Aiden in." Because He shouldn't have put Minshew in again the first time after the next game. But after he got pulled the first time by Aiden, he shouldn't have started that next game. But I'm sure he was either convinced to or he was still in that, early 4-game period, early quarter that we were supposed to give Gardner and didn't want to walk away from that as being, the structure of the plan. Whatever it was, we went with Minshew. Minshew sucks. Anybody who knew anything about how a quarterback has to perform when he's in the football game knew that Minshew wasn't going to be able to maintain the offense. He only did decent at the Colts is because he had a good offensive coordinator over there. The fact that Justin Fields is doing decent over there in Pittsburgh, I mean, he's not losing. He's out there winning games for him. And that Getsky couldn't do anything with him. Now it's evident and it's 100% proof that Getsky can't do offense. Minshew cannot run the offense without a good offensive coordinator. And we're stuck with those two things until, well, not both of those things. We're stuck with Minshew to the end of the season. Once he's gone, or once the season's over, he's out of here. And the only reason we can't get rid of him even sooner is because we only have basically one quarterback on our squad is Aiden. And then our emergency quarterback, in-game emergency quarterback is Jacoby Myers. So we got to bring the practice school guy up. If Aiden's hurt, you got the practice squad guy backing up Gardner Minshew. And are we going to put him in over the backup guy in over Gardner Minshew? Is he going to be that stingy? Who knows? Who knows? We're falling into this rat hole because admittedly, Antonio Pierce didn't stand his ground and say we should start Aiden. And because Luke Getsky can't tell offensive talent from a stick in the mud because he went to Zeus all those games when obviously he should have been going to A-Man. I mean, it was obvious from the beginning. He's the only one who had touchdowns for our first 3 games. But Getsky's still putting Zeus back there. So, of course, he would start Gardner Minshew over Aiden O'Connell. He doesn't know what the hell he's doing. So, yesterday, I didn't do anything because I'm like, everything's falling apart. It got so bad that the Fates have decided to break Aiden's thumb on his throwing hand just to do it to the Raiders. Who did the Raiders piss off? I don't know. How do they have so much power over the world? I really don't know. But someone's pissed off at the Raiders. They got a lot of power over the world. And they just fucking with us as fans, okay? So, don't get too mad about that part. Get mad at Getsky. He sucks. We got screwed with his fans because we got Getsky. And we didn't know how bad it was going to be. Who knew it could be this bad? Who knew a bad offense coordinator can tear a team apart like this? We thought we had a bad offensive coordinator last year with some guy who was, a quarterback's coach who never really drew up a play in his life. Save Madden football. He was doing better play calling than this. And at least it's not obvious that he was the cause of the team going downhill. Last year, Aiden got blamed for everything that was the problem. This year, Minshew Maniacs barely say anything about how Minshew's the daggone problem and we could never do anything with Minshew. Everybody's saying we should go to Aiden because, well, he's the younger one, and if we're going to go forward, we should just use the younger guy. That's what they're falling back on. When the truth is we should have never went with Minshew in the first place. We went with Minshew because Getsky doesn't know how to call offense. He doesn't know how to recognize talent, and he ruined the whole season because we now know how extremely important an offensive coordinator is, especially for the Raiders, considering our head coach is defensive minded and he's inexperienced, so he doesn't have a lot of offense experience to try to overturn anything the offensive coordinator says because he doesn't want to step on his toes. As a defensive minded head coach, he wants to limit that responsibility to his offensive coordinator because that's supposed to be his damn job. And Getsky is terrible at his jobs, and he tore the whole damn team down. So, mad as Raider fans? Hell yeah. Mad at who? The right people. Who are the right people? Gardner Minshew and Luke Getsky, and ultimately Luke Getsky because he the one who put Gardner Minshew in the damn game in the first place. So, what's the silver lining in all this? We can fire Getsky. So there, we have that. Hopefully we fire him soon because we can put out there that, hey, this job's available. Anybody out there who's an offensive coordinator who wants to get some work next year, we got a position for you. Because Getsky's just going to kill us more later. What, Getsky and Gardner is going to become a better duo later than they were earlier? No. Our only hope was that Aiden's accuracy could save Getsky's terrible calling. And almost, you had a decent game against Pittsburgh still in the beginning. Of course, fell apart late. Because we didn't, as an offense, even with Aiden in there, I'm not saying that Aiden's the end-all be-all perfect quarterback and doesn't do anything wrong, because even with Aiden in there, we were having a hard time. We weren't sustaining drives. I mean, we got to the red zone. We got into scoring position, but we just couldn't sustain drives, and the defense got tired. This game, we actually sustained decent drives. If you look at it, they were decent enough to get close enough to score field goals. Whether it was no touchdowns or not, we were in scoring range 5 times, so we got the drives. But what we didn't stop was the daggone turnovers. So yeah, we drove it, but then when it was time for the daggone defense to rest, the turnovers came and there was no rest to be had. So the only silver lining is that Getsky can be fired and Minshew's going to be let go. We got Aiden O'Connell. We're going to turn everything we can into getting a good, top-notch first draft or first pick quarterback, or as close as we can get to the first pick to get to the quarterback we want. We'll do the rest that we do in the draft. And here's my bold draft prediction early on. We're going to do the Mr. Irrelevant draft pick. Our last or second to last pick is going to be another quarterback that we hunted out from nowhere. That's my prediction, because we're quarterback starved. We need as much youth in our system as possible. And who knows what the hell you're going to get when you draft somebody that low. As long as you got Tom Brady scouting them, we got a chance to get something out of there, because Tom Brady got himself out of nowhere, so who knows what he'll find. So, that's the silver lining. We can fire Getsky, get rid of Minshew, we'll start all over again, and if Minshew is starting for the rest of the season, we're going to hate every Sunday that we wake up, but we're almost guaranteed to get the first pick. If Aiden is out, and we could lose the games with Aiden. There's no guarantee, right? I'm not saying that Aiden would have came in and destroyed it and just tore it up. I'm saying that Aiden's first game was against a good defense, and it was a decent game, and this game was a bad defense, and I'm pretty sure he wouldn't have 4 turnovers, considering he only had 1 against a really good defense. Now, whatever. That's over with. The season's over with. Minshew is our quarterback. We'll soon be over with. And the only silver lining is our season is going to end up so bad that it's probably almost guaranteed that we're going to get the number 1 pick, and we're going to get whatever quarterback we want next year. And Aiden's not going to look bad for it, because he's not going to do anything about it, so he'll have his job saved, because if nothing, he's still going to be talented enough to prove that he's a good backup quarterback, if not just better than Gardner Minshew. Is what we who are on the team as Minshew, as Aiden O'Connell fans, have been saying, which is all we've been saying, is that he's better than Gardner Minshew, and he's the best quarterback that we were going to be able to get from the end of last season on. I knew it from then. We all should have known it because it was obvious, but whatever. He was the best quarterback we had access to. We went and got Gardner Minshew, and now we see Aiden was still the best quarterback that we had access to. We just didn't use him, and now we lost him, and now we get to keep Gardner Minshew for the rest of the season. And you, Minshew Minshew maniacs, got exactly what you wanted. So go somewhere and be right about that, and watch your Gardner Minshew start for the rest of the season like you said he should, because there's no Aiden and there's no hope that maybe a quarterback could save it. There's only the scrambling, the intercepting. Who can throw 2 fumbles? How do you throw 2 fumbles? Whatever. Gardner Minshew and Getsky's idiocy combined together destroys the freaking Raiders, and now we just have to sit, stew in it, and wait for us to get the number 1 draft pick. Like, with every loss, just realize that we're that much closer to getting whoever we want. Okay? So I guess that's also the silver lining. And now it's not we're not tanking. We're not tanking. We're not winning because we can't win. It's not tanking. We're not trying to lose. We just are losing. And with Gardner Minshew, we're just going to continue to lose. If Aiden was in there might be a semblance of some hope that we might not continue to lose. And then if 4 games went by and we kept losing, well, then there was no semblance of hope after that. But now we're stuck with no semblance of hope. Hopefully Aiden is not coming back this week. He might not. I'm seeing IR. I don't see a quarterback breaking his thumb in any fashion and staying off the injured reserve list. There's no need to keep him on the active list because he's not going to throw. Who's going to throw a football on your broken hand as a quarterback? And it's your thumb. It's not even, one of your digits that you could try to, overcome without, using. You can't grab a football without your thumb. So I hope we go get somebody off the couch. Almost anybody except for me. Almost anybody else. We got to get somebody else off the couch, because just somebody who knows what it's like to be an NFL quarterback, because Minshew doesn't. But we're not going to overcome this. We're not going to have a better season. It's not going to be a tank season. It's just going to be a lack of talent season because we had a lot of injuries come through that we can't control. We had a bad offensive coordinator with an even worse quarterback, and a situation that is too hard to overcome for a talented defense, including all the injuries. It's just tumultuous from the beginning. And it started with Getsky not starting Aiden O'Connell. It's going downhill from there, and it's going to continue to go downhill from there. That's the brightest I can give you. I'm sorry. I know this is a silver lining, and I know I spent the whole night thinking how to come up with the silver lining. And the best thing I can come up with is the more we lose, the more we're guaranteed to get whoever we want, whether it be Shedeur Sanders, Cam Ward, or whomever the best quarterback ends up being at the end of the year. Because with Gardner Minshew starting, we're guaranteed that. And I can't believe it. Well, I guess I can believe, but Vegas is right again. We weren't going to win 6 games. We might not win 6 games. Maybe Vegas knew about Gardner Minshew just as much as, I don't know, those of us who knew Gardner Minshew was going to stink knew. But that's over. That's done. That's the past. Is Aiden going to start? No. I saw him break that thumb, and I saw his hand spasm like that. I said, oh, my God. Either he's just kind of scared and he's panicking, or your hand, when you break your hand, you break a bone in your hand like that. I've done that. Your hand spasms because it's your body is reacting to the fact that it doesn't want you to move your hand. Your hand is trying to take its control of itself because it's like, don't control me. We're broken really bad. And I'm trying to tell you by more than just sending you pain. I'm showing you another way of expressing how much your hand is in danger, and that is terrible. So I don't see him. But I'm no doctor. I don't get to see his hand firsthand, but from what I know about injuries, I done had more than my fair share. That that doesn't look good. Silver lining: we're going to fire Luke Getsky sooner rather than later. We don't. We can get out of Minshew's contract, and Minshew will never play another snap in the NFL. We will suck so bad under Minshew that we're going to get whoever we want to when it comes down to the draft, and whoever we want to. Even if we're in second, we still have enough draft capital to leapfrog. The only thing, the saddest thing that could come out of this, but it would only happen if he wanted it to happen, so it might not happen. But we could lose Mad Max. If he says, I want to go, then we're going to let him go. I don't think we're going to try to, headlock him into the team like they did with Barry Sanders, right? We're not going to force him to either retire or play here. So we could lose him. And I don't know. I hope we don't. If we do, we'll get good draft capital for him. We might not even need good draft capital because we're going to be so bad. But if we're going to be so bad that Max doesn't want to stay, at least we're going to get draft capital for him. It's a tumultuous season. It's Getsky's fault. And Gardner Minshew can't help the fact that he sucks. He should have never been in there in the first place. The silver lining is they'll both be gone at the end of the season. We'll probably have whoever the hell we want when it comes down to the draft. We'll get a different offensive coordinator, somebody that can work well with that person, which will probably be Shedeur Sanders if we get in that position. With Tom Brady being on the team, with, Deion Sanders wanting his kid to be around the type of coaching that Antonio Pierce is putting there, because it's not Antonio Pierce's fault what's happening here. Antonio Pierce, at the end, yeah, he makes the decisions. He should have said overruled Getsky on the quarterback decision, but like I said in the beginning, it's not necessarily something he wanted to do or anybody should have tried to do. But when it came time to it, he did do it. So we'll see what happens. But Shedeur Sanders is probably the quarterback of our future. Okay, and Surfer Bob, you goddamn genius. Okay, I didn't see any of it coming at all, and now is bright as day. It's like a train coming straight down the track with a great big light. We're going to get Shedeur Sanders. Aiden O'Connell is not the quarterback of the future. You're right, because we're going to be able to get Shedeur Sanders, and we got the best backup quarterback in the league in Aiden O'Connell, and I'm happy with that. And we're going to have Shedeur Sanders because Gardner Minshew is going to stink because Aiden O'Connell is going to go on IR, which is at least another 4 weeks of Minshew, which takes us into so we're 7 games into the season, 11 games into the season, with 6 games left. How many games can we win out of that? How much better can we get? Not much. How much worse can we get? Probably a little bit worse. So watch you some Colorado Buffaloes and get hyped about whatever Shedeur Sanders is doing, because hopefully he'll be doing it for your Las Vegas Raiders next year. So that's what I got. And I hope that brings something for you. Getsky's gone. Hopefully we fire him in the next couple of weeks. Minshew's gone. We're going to save all that money in the cap next year. We suck so bad that we're almost guaranteed to get Shedeur Sanders. Tom Brady loves Shedeur Sanders, so that relationship's already locked in. And Tom Brady has friends who know offense. So something like that would help us find a very good offensive coordinator. So this season is in the trash. Fine. It's fine. Future is still bright. Once we get rid of Getsky, once we don't have to watch Gardner Minshew play, once we get through the stomachache that is going to be this season, we have a dream coming for us as far as the future goes. A dream. We'll have the best rookie wide receiver that tight end that ever hit the field. And we're going to follow that up with a number one draft pick quarterback that tore it up. A number one Heisman winning draft pick quarterback for next year. And hopefully our line will get healthy and we'll get Kuntz back and we'll get Wilkinson back, and hopefully we still keep Max and everybody comes back healthy, and then we find another running back in the draft and maybe another wide receiver, But the silver lining is for next season. Just go ahead and drink your pain away each time. Well, okay, don't drink your pain away. I'm not advertising alcoholism, but do whatever you got to do to make you feel better. Massage the pain away. Let your wife complain the pain away. Whatever works for you. The season's going to hurt. Just deal with it, man. Just take it like a tattoo. In the end, it's going to be beautiful. All the way at the end, though. The pain is now. The tattoo will be beautiful. But right now, it's a lot of pain. But life ain't always, sunshine. Life is a lot of pain. And you can't win them all. And these clouds are dark. But when you want to see the bright side, you can still come to the silver lining. Guru out.